Hello Internet, it's Jason from Godlike Productions once again. Just letting you know about the new algorithm I've developed for the H9000. So this one is called the Formant Filter, and pretty self-descriptive. It's a Formant filter. I had a good look through the H9000. I couldn't find any Formant filters in there, so I decided to build one. Normally Formant filter effects are built with 2 formant frequencies. In this one I've put 3 formant frequencies in for each of 16 vowels. And the vowels are listed, they're given the IPA name, which is the International Phonetic Association. And they've got, so there's 2 sets of vowels that you can use. They're the same, but you can, setting vowel 1 and vowel 2, you can use the morph knob to smoothly morph between them. So the morphing isn't simply a crossfade. What happens is each of those frequencies actually migrates between the frequency set for Formant 1 and the frequency set for Formant 2. So they will move and line up at the extremes to one of the vowels. So on the user interface, there is the vowel selection for vowel 1 and vowel 2, so that's the 2 ends of the morph. We have we have a Q control which changes the resonance, and it sounds pretty nice mainly at the higher resonances as those bands get narrower. And after that we've got 3 controls for gain, so you can set the gain for the 3 different frequencies. And normally what you do is you normally set the highest frequency with the lowest value, because that normally is how that energy is dissipated in our vocal tracks. So for those that don't know what formants are, just a quick primer. Formants are a set of resonant frequencies that are created within our vocal tracks when we speak. And they seem to be quite universal between people, certainly within ranges. And by selecting individual frequency sets, you can emulate different sounds. Normally they're used for vowels, so A, E, I, O, U, and derivations of those, so A are 3 different variations of the A one, or the A vowel, for example. So by setting these frequencies, you can give a vocal quality to the audio that's passing through them. The plugin, or the algorithm itself, has got 2 modes. Simple mode is what I recommend most people start with, at least to get a ballpark of the sound that they're seeking. And if you need to fine tune it, then you can open up expert mode. Now, when you open expert mode, you're presented with 6 bandwidth controls, and these are a ratio of bandwidths to frequency of vowel 1 frequency 1. So I recommend you set vowel 1 frequency 1 at 100%, and then all of the other frequencies, so frequency 2 and 3 will be a ratio to that frequency of vowel 1 frequency 1. So if you want the higher frequencies at narrower or wider bandwidths, this is where you do it. And for vowel 2, it's set off, so the first frequency there is set as a ratio to the first frequency of vowel 1, and then 2 and 3 are set to the ratio of this vowel 2 frequency 1. So it all comes back to vowel 1 frequency 1. It's a ratio based on that at the root of it. Now the reason that I've done this is because I wanted the Q control to be active even after you set your set points. So you set your set points for your 2 endpoints, and then the Q control still works, and it modulates the bandwidths and the resonance for all of them in relation to how you've set them. So the Q control is just like a one-stop shop to make things richer or more resonant. Also in expert mode, there is a readout of the different bandwidths, so you can actually see the actual width in hertz of the bandwidth of each of the 6 filters. And then finally you've got 3 more gain controls. So when you switch into expert mode, the first 3 gain controls revert to just controlling vowel 1, and then the second set of gain controls will control vowel 2. If you turn expert mode off, then the first three gain controls, the ones that are available in the simple panel, will control both of the vowel positions. Okay, now I've recorded this remotely and I've just gone through a little bit of a demo, and the demo, basically what I do is I go through each of the 16 vowels and I morph between one endpoint, I set the other one, morph over to that, and set the first one, morph back. So you can hear all 16 of the vowels. The source for this is a Behringer ARP 2600 clone, B2600. It's a short passage of music for a song that I'm working on with my partner in crime, Jamie. So we record on Times of the Signs, and this is the latest track that we're working on. So it's just a small excerpt. The ARP 2600 is triggered by the a TD3 MO, so that's what's doing the sequencing of it and the note tracking. The filter's open wide, so we get lots of those overtones in it, which is perfect for this Formant filter. I've done quite a bit of research to determine what these Formant frequencies should be, and I've got 3 frequencies for each Formant. I've got 4 frequencies for some of them, but I haven't implemented that yet. I need to do some more research to locate a 4th frequency for some of these Formants. So a bit of a deep dive into Google Scholar and some scholarly articles to try and come up with that. What else? If you enjoy this video and you enjoy the content that I'm making for the H9000, please consider subscribing to the Buy Me a Coffee page, which you'll find a link down below. And the funds that I'm getting from Buy Me a Coffee and from custom algorithm development is I'm using that to put towards buying myself both a Mac laptop so that I can continue on some VST development and do support for my plugins for the Mac platform. And also I'd like to get a decent electric guitar at some stage. Guitar is my primary instrument. I studied it for 21 years, but I don't actually have an electric guitar. I've got a bunch of acoustics, but I'd like to get into recording and putting electric guitar back into some of our performances, and also working on making some more guitar-based effects with the H9000 for all you guitar users out there. Anyway, I have rambled on enough. Let me go on and start the video. So the first part of the video will run through the morphs and the different vowels, then we'll look at what the effect of the Q control is, briefly onto the volumes, and you'll hear as I bring the volume of frequency 3 up, you'll hear some more high end come into that Formant filter. I think it sounds pretty good. Then I'll switch on to expert mode and just run through a few of the controls there. I'll narrow the bandwidths for the higher frequencies. Normally they have less presence in a Formant filter, so I will dial those back a little bit and then have a little bit of a play around. Just take notice of how the bandwidths change. Alright, thanks for tuning in. I've got a whole bunch more groovy stuff coming out soon. And I've got about 20 algorithms already developed that are available from the Buy Me a Coffee page. So yeah, head on over there, take a subscription if you can afford it, and yep, enjoy all the goodies. All right, enjoy.